We're back.
Are we there yet?
There. Are we there yet?
I get a message.
We're on both at the same time. How about that? How about them apples?
How you like them apples?
Still waiting on the YouTube.
Well, I got the notification.
For YouTube?
Yep.
I see us on Facebook. Oh, I got the little pop-up on YouTube for YouTube.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another week of the Virtual Cantina Watch Along, as well as the final week for the March to Mando Season 3. My name is Spencer. I am one of your hosts for the night. Your producer for the night is Dave Baca. Dave, how are you, sir?
Hey, how's everybody doing?
Fantastic. And then we got Jeff Solo.
Yeah, that's me.
That's you. I like the shirt. That's a very snazzy shirt.
Oh,
so, a couple of things. We are 41 days away from Bunta, and we are 42 days away from Star Wars Celebration. Now, does anybody know the significance of the number 42?
Life, the universe, and everything.
My daughter's basketball number, the most frequently fouled out child in her.
Isn't it also the meaning of life, according to the Hitchhiker's Guide?
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Anyway, so we're going there, and very, very excited about the autograph hall today. They announced the entire Davis family, basically.
And that was wrong, by the way. The way you announced that, wrong.
Harrison, I know.
Yes. You just put that Harrison was in the autograph hall, and it's like,
yes, I did that.
Misleading.
I realized that after I wrote that. But you have Wicket, you got the character's name of his son, and another one of the Ewoks. So you have Annabelle, you have Harrison, and you have Warwick Davis. All three are in Willow, which is pretty awesome, as well as Deidre from Andor. To me, that was like the big name for today. I mean, we were waiting for some Andor people, and that was just, I thought, pretty awesome. I jumped on that, and with they said there might be some last minute surprises. Who knows? But they also announced a metallic lithograph signed by Gwendolyn Christie, like they did with Obi-Wan Hayden and Anakin one as well. So that's some pretty cool stuff. Obviously, we're gearing up towards Celebration and Bunta, but we got some big things, including this weekend on the VCN. Dave, I want you to chat a little bit.
So on the VCN, we've got a pretty full schedule. We've got News Desk 5 for Star Wars Celebration Europe, where Mark and Gary are going to be talking about stuff you need to bring, stuff you need to know, and the new autograph guests and all the kind of wrap up in news from the last 2 weeks since they were on last. And then we will have on Sunday, we will have the next episode of The Unifying Force.
The subject there?
Yes, indeed. The subject on The Unifying Force is always a surprise. Sometimes just a surprise to you. Sometimes a surprise to all of us. But that's what The Unifying Force rolls.
Oh, yeah.
Chase on the VCN actually said that he acquired a Denise Gouch today as well. So that was pretty cool.
Nice.
Very cool, very cool. And as always, we got stuff coming up. We got in 2 weeks our Alderaan Idol preview show. So we're getting ready for that, which will be very, very exciting, which means Celebration is basically literally right around the corner.
Put the date on that again so people can mark their calendars.
Yes, so it's going to be on March the 8th. It's going to be the preview show. That will be at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. We will do some live voting as we did in the past and show some footage from Anaheim that maybe some people have never seen before, but we will figure all that out eventually one day. Who knows? But on top of all that, we're just really, really, really getting excited when we get announcements for guests of Bunta. I would probably say in the next week is probably a safe bet for something. So good question, though, Chase. That's the best question I've heard all day. But very, very excited. Obviously, we're all excited. Over the weekend, or the last couple of days, there was an exhibit called The Forge in London, where Bunta band Loose Harvest not only performed, but as they were performing the Mandalorian theme, who walked them through the door but Pedro?
Whoa.
So I did this video of him just walking in, going and nodding to the band, and they're all geeking out while they're playing the theme song. But Mr. Favreau was there with him.
Cool.
So that was pretty exciting, as well as just everybody's getting excited. Next week is season 3. Clips have been coming out, different trailers. But before we get started, hey Laney, how are you? I would probably say we've had some great series shows that we've done on in preparation, but this March to Mando has been absolutely insanely good because we've had incredible guests joining us everywhere from Hal Hickel all the way to Brendan Wayne, literally.
Or one of the Mandalorians himself.
Mando proper, maybe.
Gunslinger.
Yeah, what were some of the highlights for you for this March to Mando?
Well, I really enjoyed last week's episode. JJ and I had, if I pronounced that right, I'm sorry if I butchered your name. They were really cool to hear that kind of element of the acting part that you don't normally get from a regular actor, since they have to do the acting as well as some trick, some gag, as it were, as well, and not hurt themselves in the process. So that was kind of cool.
Hurt themselves in the process.
Yeah. Or yeah. But I loved JJ, talking about how, because since he was the stunt coordinator, he kind of pulled the strings on who did what when. And sometimes people got to do stuff whether they wanted to or not. And they're all better for it in the end. But yeah, that was one of the best ones. All of the guests have been amazing. This was like probably one of our best series so far.
Absolutely. Dave, what are some highlights for you from this past series?
So I've really enjoyed the guests that we've had here. It's always informative. We've had guests that we've had before. We've had new guests, but I've enjoyed a lot of the deep dives on the actual content and actual information that we get, because March to Mando season 3 hasn't just been here. If you've been just watching this, you haven't gotten real information because we know nothing. The real information is coming on Rebels Revisited on Monday, where they've been searching back in a lot of the history of the Darksaber and that sort of things that occurs in Rebels. That's where a lot of this comes from. That's where the backstory
originated, basically.
Yeah.
Hi, Krista and C-Rad. They're in the Facebook.
Hello.
Hi, Fisher and Chip. As we're talking about the Grogu's. But
there's a new one. I can't remember the new one's name. There's Fisher, Chip, and who's the new one, Krista?
There's IDT as well. But anyway, I think we've been absolutely incredible. We've had, we were able to get Tate and Emily together, which was absolutely a lot of fun in itself. Brendan was a hoot and a half.
Yeah.
That was so much fun. Hal is always a treat to have, on with us. Bring Chris Bartlett. It's always a pleasure. JJ and Ian last week were incredible. Getting a new, like you mentioned, a new perspective of something we've not done before. So So it's been a lot of Misty, coming in to do Frog Lady, Milani coming in again. Just so much fun, and we hope that everybody out there, it's not only but Fisher and Chip and main ones. Gotcha. It's a pleasure not just for us who get to actually hang out and chat with the guys or the girls that are coming on the show, but also to give you this sort of content as well, because that's what we want to do, is make you feel like you're as part of the process as we are. So if you have ideas in the future, please reach out to us. And we'd love to hear from you. You have to hear what's going on.
You can message us here on the main Facebook page. You can put messages in the comment, or you can always send an email to a virtual cantina network at gmail.com. You hit us up there. It's ideas for shows.
Absolutely. And also, we made the jump to a program that I fought tooth and nail not to, but we're on the talk. We're on the TikTok. There's a great series right now of the misadventures of John Chiato and his search for the Black Kyber crystal.
Let me share my screen for a second, and we'll see the initial TikTok video of the 14-year-old. Yeah, I won't do it. I was just watching your.
I got so much crap from
girls just want to have fun.
I got crap from one of our moderators saying that, I had this idea 3 years ago, and you're like, no, because you're not a 14-year-old girl, and now you're doing it. I'm like,
and that, yes. So you can say what you want, but I agree with the crap given right there, because been hitting you that for that long.
Yes. Oh yes. You got to build a bear Rancor. Oh, that actually looks kind of cool, but I think it looks too much like King Shark.
It's got a very kind of Killer Croc look as well, with that sort of greenish hue.
But this is, of course, Krista talking. Is you think she's not going to modify it to make it like the Mushi, or I smell some brown Rit dye in its future.
Yeah, that could be beneficial.
Yeah, but we got all that. We're getting excited. So if you're joining us and watching with us tonight, we are going to be watching the gallery episode of the book of Boba Fett. So hopefully you'll be joining us for that. I also want to mention Christine R2D2. I mean, it was very, very nice to get to know
she was a lot of
her.
fun too.
Yeah, I was not on cam for that, but I totally caught some of that when I was traveling, and that was amazing.
So yeah, greatly appreciate everybody being part of that. But also some other Star Wars news that they did. Rosario Dawson did leak that Ahsoka is coming out this fall.
No, that's kind of what we expected, I think, though, right?
Yes.
We were thinking late summer, I think, was the call we were making. So I don't know.
Right in that range enough.
But it depends on definition of fall. When you said fall now, it's either late summer or it might be like.
It could be December. Who knows?
Hey, Bruce, how are you? Yep, absolutely. And
well, not December.
Star Wars Celebration will be returning in 2025, as announced by StarWars.com. So that's a speculation begin.
Nice little vague bit of info about.
I'm just saying, for all of those people at Celebration and Lucasfilm and all that watch this channel. Okay, but seriously, they're expanding, gonna double the size of the Raleigh, North Carolina Convention Center. Hint, just saying.
I don't know. I think the Boston Convention and Expo Center is actually pretty cool as well. So
LA has a bunch of new hotels that just got built up across the street. Minutes from Disneyland, minutes from the Hollywood sign, minutes from the beach, minutes from the mountain with snow in it currently. Anyways,
yeah, Chiato was actually telling me about that when I was texting him earlier today.
We only got hail where I'm at, so
okay.
Haven't seen anything white on the ground in quite some time. So usually
I
don't
would agree. You probably have
some police chases, but that's a whole other.
AC, step on it. No.
Oh.
You said police chases. um,
Dude,
yeah,
wait,
I would agree.
Bronco.
There's probably going to be an Ahsoka preview. I would say the fact that if Rosario is going to be on the floor, that they will absolutely do something.
Hmm.
We can all speculate and probably get it wrong because we said that the biggest news celebration Anaheim was going to be the announcement of Thrawn, and the biggest announcement that we got was Sabine and Jude Law. So
Chopper.
Oh yeah, have we? And I guess they'll probably be giving us some more information on Skeleton Crew at Celebration
yes,
You would think so. They didn't really. It was very kind of minimal during
and
that
the
panel.
Acolyte. Probably the Acolyte.
Because it was what reports and set photos or like paparazzi style ones of some of the filming that had begun for that, as far as I can remember.
absolutely. So lots of good stuff coming up, but yeah, we are literally like a month and a week away from Star Wars Celebration London. A lot of us are getting there a little bit early to sightsee and have some fun and get ready for all the shenanigans abound. But Dave and Jeff, why don't you? Obviously, we're still working out the plans, but what is the VCN kind of gonna look like week of celebration?
Well, we'll do happy hour. We'll start actually before that. So we'll have our normal shows. We'll have, I don't know what the weekend shows will be, or show, I should say. Monday, we'll do Rebels. I'm sure Mark and Ashley will talk a bit about what they expect to see or what we've, at that point, everything will pretty much been known in terms of what's kind of going to happen. And, happy hour will be happy for the people that can get on and aren't traveling at the moment. Thursday, though, I'm not sure what we're doing exactly Thursday, but all those days leading up, we will have a day of news at some point in the day. I'm not sure if we scheduled that exactly yet. Anyways, you can elaborate a little bit more, Dave.
So what we're going to kind of do is we're going to have all your celebration news wrap up is how it's really going to go. We're going to get videos, feeds, comments, all sorts of exclusives from our people who are going to be there, both at Boonta Eve and both at Celebration on the con floor and in the panels themselves. We're going to have our reporters there, and they're going to feed all that information back here to me, to Jeff, to some others who are going to be back stateside, and we're going to relay that on like a nightly kind of wrap up show for you.
So
It's great. It's I'm surprised that other people have not jumped on that idea before, but hey, I'm glad we are.
I'm sure, Star Wars will do some sort of wrap ups that they're themselves to an extent. We'll see.
And also,
But we will have it'll be Dave and myself, as well as Mark Von Olen and Ashley Branzo joining us. Any possible combination of the four of us, depending on who's available, and we will give you the lowdown on what is happening.
I wasn't going to say MVO because I know he's starting to feel the left out, and whether he jumped ship and he's on the other side of the pond.
That's true. That's always a
Ashley and I were giving him crap today because he was waiting for Deidre to be announced, and Deidre and Carolyn.
Now he's thinking of just going for that.
So he's going to roll up in there in his, Krennic, his ISB kind of.
Yeah.
Well, if he makes it over after all, we can force him to join us once or twice on camera.
Absolutely. So very, very excited about that. Very excited about, what we are going to be able to offer for you guys, and just to show you guys everything that's going on, around Celebration and around Boonta Eve and the events going on, Not So Virtual Cantina. I also want to plug this most recent Skywalking Through Neverland episode, which I talked with Richard about, Boonta Eve and what the plans are as of right now. We're very, very excited about that. Announcing that also that Star Wars Family Fun Day as well as Elite Signatures are the official sponsors for Boonta Eve. We're very excited to have them join us as part of this event, as well as the incomparable Blues Harvest, who performed at the Forge in London these past 2 days as part of a preview event for Mandalorian season 3 with Pedro Pascal and Jon Favreau showing up, which is really, really cool. And, you know, all the other excitement and exciting things that are going on around, you know, oh yeah, hey, it's speaking of Thrawn Van
Talk about timing.
But yes, but also please check out our T Public store. You can still pick up a lot of our Boonta Eve shirts that are available right now on
The
their
European vacation shirt still up.
Yep, I think there's like 35% off today as well.
Ooh,
Excellent.
nice. Oh, aren't we? We might have another shirt going up soon too, or who knows how many more. But
At least
finalize that
two.
time.
I would say this: at least 2 in the next 2 weeks. We are coming up on the 3rd anniversary of the virtual canteen.
Oh yeah.
It started off as a necessity from COVID, exploded to this. So I like to say from all of us, thank you very much for continuing to jump in with us. You know, love having you guys involved with this. You know, Jeff, you've been around since day one as far as, you know, this group is concerned. And Dave, you came in, you know, during COVID when we were first starting the VC and not sure. I mean, it's incredible to see where this fandom's gone. And we are already at 46,600 people in the swoop right now.
Oh wow!
It's just 50 by celebration. Go.
We'll be at 50. I'm calling it right now. I've been saying that for a while. We'll be at 50 by celebration. So very, very excited about that. And thank you very much. And like Dave said, if you guys have ideas for programming or unboxings or anything of that nature, you know, send it over. What's the email address that can reach out to us, Steve?
So they can reach us at, like I said, you can message us on YouTube. You can message us on the Facebook. But you can send us emails at virtualcantinanetwork@gmail.com or the virtualcantinanetwork@gmail.com. Both of them are us.
Absolutely. So we'll be starting about 4 minutes now. So if you have any ideas, any ideas, well, if you want to get your D Plus machine all queued up, we're going to be watching Gallery for the Book of Boba Fett.
Yep.
And his backpacks have jets.
Yes.
Boba the Fett.
Unboxings, people, you know, we love the unboxings. I had one to do live tonight.
Ooh.
If you're having trouble finding the gallery, you can go to the Book of Boba Fett page and look under suggested, and it will pop up as an option.
Ooh, good. All right, this one is well taped.
What is that there? Oh,
Yeah.
It's not a knife.
That's
Okay.
a knife.
Yeah, they've gotten this eBay seller has really put some work into this box.
The Family Vacation one is actually a really good. The European Vacation Chase is a really, really good shirt. And now that we know that Celebration is going to be in 25, there will be a Family Vacation in 24, which we will talk about a little later in the year.
Dave,
We know when it's going to be.
Look,
Yep.
well packaged. Mark of a good eBay seller. Lots of, I think it's in there.
Don't lose it in the packaging.
No, don't lose it in the packaging. Throw the packaging away and the item with it. Oh,
That's
oh,
always
more. Oh, it's here. It's in a Ziploc bag. They taped the Ziploc bag.
Well, didn't want it getting riled up.
All right, back to it.
Show it. We can sort of
Here
see
we
it.
go.
What year is it from? Oh, nice. Is that Big Head Han?
That is Big
Ooh.
Head Han. That is the one I had as a child. I've actually had multiple Big Head Hans as a child because they were notorious for losing the head. You know, This one
But wasn't there a
is-
resculpt of his head at one point? So there was a
there was
variation.
a regular size Scott Han
Yeah.
head as well.
And I'm
How's
sure
the- how's the
once
paint
they
on
went
his
to the
head?
figures. What's that?
The paint.
Oh,
Oh,
the paint.
the stripe.
Well, no, his hair on his head.
Look at that.
Ooh, it's pretty pristine.
Yeah.
I know. That's why
Yeah,
it
it's not
took
worn very.
me forever to really
Find a
find a
good
good one.
version
It's
of it.
still got the blood stripes on the.
Pants, yeah.
I mean, he's good. He is crispy.
Nice.
So
The
that
last
one
time-
that's a new one. I hadn't decided if he's going to go in my original 12 display or if he's going to go in the Falcon. Because I got another package on the way too. I've got a vintage chess table for the Falcon.
Oh, sweet. Oh yeah, you gotta piece out the interior and stuff of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's it called? The last time I bought a loose vintage figure, it was a Greedo because I had lost mine back in the day and I missed him. So I got it at like a little local con type thing or something. We used to have sci-fi comic book con every month at the Shrine Auditorium in downtown. And that's where I met a lot of really cool actors back in the 90s.
Yes, Lenny, the Dejaric table, that chess table, that's what I have ordered in. It's been a long time in the shipping because I ordered one directly from the UK. It was the best one I could find. So I'm looking here, I've got my phone light out and look because they did not specify the year on this one. This is a 77. Boom.
Okay.
77 Big Head Han.
Well, did they actually arrive in 77? That was Christmas, right? When those
so
'cause most stuff you'll find is
part of the
78.
early bird.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So that came at the end of the year as opposed to in May of 77 and so on.
Han was not in the early bird, but man, I gotta
Oh
find.
no, wait, the early bird was actually at Christmas, and that was the
Christmas after because they didn't think this was going to be a thing.
so the merch didn't need to
The
come
Christmas
up until
after,
Christmas,
so he
right?
probably probably didn't hit shelves till 78.
Right, that's what I'm
But
thinking.
was manufactured.
A lot of it says 78 on it. It's all. Anyways, let's start this sucker.
Absolutely. So once again, please make sure you take a look at the Book of Boba Fett gallery. And does everybody have it all queued up?
Hold
Mhm.
on, still queuing. I was opening a package.
He was playing with his sharp blade and his dolls.
Yes.
No, I'm not playing with my dolls again.
All right,
Or
this
dolls,
thing's generated Book of Boba Fett. Come on, click.
The true Harrison, not the misdirect that we got
Yeah,
earlier.
that was mean, mean.
That was unintentional.
Yeah,
I don't.
I would think it was subconscious. If it
Visual
wasn't
thinking.
fully conscious.
I do not believe you. All right, I'm queued now. I was put
Okay.
Big Head Han in a safe place.
There you go. For
Big
safekeeping.
Head Han and the Monsters.
Boom, boom.
Yes.
That's him.
Okay, we're gonna start in 5 seconds. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play.
This just starts good.
I also love when we talk about JJ about how he his family with being friends with Robert Rodriguez and how he just calls him up and says, "Hey Dash, Jimmy's there." That's what's kind of cool. And we talked about how Danny Trejo is like the Bruce Campbell of the Rodriguez movies and Bruce Campbell of the Sam Raimi's.
Bruce Campbell of the same or
Look at that. The puppetry on this stuff's amazing. Could be the Greg Grunberg of the JJ's.
That's it.
The Rob Schneider of the,
Adam Sandler movies.
Sherry, we're watching gallery for Book of Boba Fett, and we are at minute 23.
Yes, Favreau's playing with lightsabers.
And Filoni has an Ahsoka shirt on.
Hey, it's
So
funny.
weird.
Arya's sitting there just like giving R2 hats.
Yeah, little pets. It's weird to me to see the actual throne on the throne stand, because the way Jabba sat there was more like a pad, right? He wasn't actually
Right, yeah.
It wasn't only until we saw Bib momentarily be in that seat, and then Boba immediately after. He's no good to me, dead. Young Tamura. Young Daniel.
Yes.
Daniel's still about that tall, though. Just kidding.
Wow.
All in jest, Daniel.
Oh,
Please.
no bounty boxes for you.
Yeah. I'll
Okay,
have to
if you
apologize
haven't
the
been
next time I
watching,
see him at a
if you
con.
don't follow Daniel's channel and look at bounty boxes, he has had some serious giveaways. The items that he had, the autographed or authentic merchandise that he's
I've seen some
raffling
really good
lately,
stuff up on there.
it's good stuff. Uplifting instrumental music.
Where am I? I like how they updated his undergarments to be more like his kind of tribal stuff here, as opposed to being that white jumpsuit like he's wearing for the flashbacks.
Yeah.
Gives it a little bit different vibe. He's doing Daniel's thing. The helmet.
See, I like this. This is like Tamura dramatically reading like the script description. And what was it that Mr. Elbatar was saying, that they were in makeup for like 3 hours?
Right, to get all the scars and whatever colorations and stuff that they do. I still think there needs to be a cut of episode 2 where young Boba picks up the helmet and his dad's head falls out.
Special edition.
I love this whole scene in this episode of Mando was amazing.
That was just the
And really it's weird how they've done this, where it was like some of the most badass Boba Fett
And then
in the series and otherwise on the Disney Plus, and then they do the same thing where the best Mandalorian is in the Book of Boba Fett. It's like, wait a second, wrong show.
The best Boba is in Mando. The best Mando in Boba.
Yeah, kind of weird.
It's like Oprah, Uma, Oprah.
Ancient David Letterman hosting the Oscars, right?
Yes.
Joke. It's got to be hot as hell in that.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Is it like, because that's the kind of thing that like Bedouin wear, is that big kind of loose linen. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't been in
It
that.
seems like that amount of fabric would trap heat is all I'm speculating. I don't know. I tend to wear a t-shirt almost all the time, so
Yes.
only layers like now when it's excruciatingly cold here in Southern California. What was it? 50s today?
Oh yes. Let's see. Your low, our high.
Oh, it was the low was 44 today. Or no, wait, that was yesterday. 40 something. Yeah, 44.
There you go. Just can you imagine this right here? They're just sitting there scatting like the lyrics of cruising on my like a bantha, like a bantha.
Chris dancing in the background. It's funny.
What was that video that we actually saw maybe in the gallery from before when Robert Rodriguez was sitting next to Grogu, and basically Grogu's like jamming out like
That was, I think that was one of the, it might be in this. Yeah, there was definitely stills of that.
All right, that's just the level of ridiculous. Tamora playing the guitar in the Earl Shive armor. It's just yes.
Any clan, any color, or
Well,
shot.
that was a fun thing. It's when we did our show with the guys from Cantina, and they were talking about that there's a special guest joining them to play clones with Ash. My first was like, so are you gonna have Tamora Morrison, who plays guitar, come on stage with Ash to play clones? Because that'd
That'd be pretty fun.
pretty awesome. But it's not Tamora, but they're like, oh my god, we look at that. I'm like, that was the first thing I thought of.
Immediately popped into your head. Does that say Jet underneath the Boba Fett on?
That's what I thought it does. It said
set decoration.
it says what?
It's
Says
set.
set? Looked like it said Jet to me. Anyways, we'll continue to look and speculate. I don't want to pause it. Anyways, I love how everybody was so blown away by the physical Jabba Palace set.
Yeah.
Everyone who went on that set talked about just being like, "Holy shit, I'm in Jabba's palace."
Oh,
Well, that's the one thing I heard Chris Farley was talking to us about. It's like he didn't know where he was going to be, and all of a sudden he's looking around. I was like, wait a minute, I'm in Jabba's palace.
Chris Farley?
Yes, Chris Farley.
That's what it sounded like to me. Okay. The ghost of Chris Farley was hanging out in Jabba's palace.
So here's what's very interesting is that the puppeteer for the Sarlacc pit in Book of Boba Fett was the same guy who was in the suit for Stay Puft in Ghostbusters 84.
Oh wow. Trippy.
Sherry, we are at 9 minutes even.
Looking at nasty Sarlacc inside.
We're looking at Audrey 3, essentially.
Sarlacc ooze.
Yes. But yeah, I mean, this was cool. We'd seen this before in comics. We'd seen the escape from the Sarlacc. We knew what like the canon kind of deal. Well, I guess that's not canon anymore, but now it is.
Right. It was variation of canon. This whole thing just seems like it says, oh, it does say set. It seems like he took the extra long way to get out. It's like there's got to be an easier way to get out of there than literally dig your way through the sand. There's a hole right next to where you are with the beast in it. So I don't know. I've never had to escape from a Sarlacc, so hopefully I never have to find out.
Yeah,
although I've
whole diagram
seen a cute little baby
like
one
goes down like the roots of a tree, and there's things, and
yeah, the one in Doc Ondar's that he has on display is got a lot of empty space in the cavity that it inhabits, which seems kind of weird to me, but that would also make it seem like it would be harder to get out of if that was the case, but it probably grows and fills that up more. Anyways, enough speculation on Sarlacc growth cycles.
okay.
This is great seeing the Mandos together.
Back, shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah. Ooh. Jacking up that poor Gamorrean.
Yeah, he just taking them out.
He does some damage with that cap. Oh, even well, in this case with the rifle. I love how he just destroyed it, and he's like, "Oh, moving on."
Yeah.
Look at the gangster scene.
Batman 89 scene.
Well, that was the thing we were talking when we had with Brendan is that, they set this up to be like The Godfather. This one
Mhm.
scene.
It does decoration.
Oh, set decorator.
Yeah, that's what Spencer said. I was like, huh? No, that's not what it says.
Like, what do you, huh? Interesting.
Yeah.
That is not necessarily the title that I would have thought that Dave would take.
Yeah,
Well,
he
and
probably has a copy of
some swag
every
from the
anybody's swag. Like,
yeah, exactly. I love those credits that he's got in there. I'm glad they started to offer things like that in Galaxy's Edge.
I think you'll find that there'll be a lot of that sort of stuff in London from what I've seen in the swag posts. A lot of people are 3D printing stuff like that.
oh, so they had an actual forge at the forge. Where it actually had pieces of metal that they stamped in front of you, and you had a choice of either getting the Mudhorn or getting the Imperial logo on a piece
wow.
of card that was like that big, but it was actually metal.
Wow.
That's
I was
like
that's
a-
actually kind
like
of
a-
cool.
Pressed penny on steroids.
Yeah, literally. That will happen eventually down, at Disney.
So if it was a piece of Beskar, the Imperial or Mudhorn logo was only like this big in the corner,
Yeah,
like the ingots are. Okay,
right.
that makes sense.
Hmm.
Just when I first envisioned it, I imagined it being like a big logo or whatever. But now that I think about it, that makes more sense.
Oh, Snuffleupagus.
Yeah.
So I was watching some videos of today afterwards
Hey,
of
bird.
2016 celebration in London, as well as some stuff from Anaheim. And there was somebody who actually cosplay as a bantha.
Nice.
And I'm like, wow, that was even better than Snuffy.
Mhm. Yeah,
Well, I
sometimes
mean,
you
it's
put a
it
lot
just
more
looks-
work into it. But
I don't know. It looks funny on the finished thing. Like there on the set, it looked, not moving in the.
it does all
looked
the weird swaying. And
when
that
she-
shot they showed him walking across the sand there a little while ago with that weird pan in with the camera almost made it look like he was floating.
right.
But he's sort of a magical bantha.
See, that's got to be like one of the difficult things working with Tamura and not just breaking character and
Right.
laugh when he just
all the
starts.
time. One of the things I liked about this show a lot was the fact that they're here, on this practical set and, a town setting versus just all volume stuff with
Right.
Whoa, and a little
stagecraft.
like the fake Power Rangers jumping in there.
Yeah, they look like yeah,
The Foot Clan, they're the Foot Clan.
right.
Are they putties
Might be.
from
What's up, Ashley? Welcome.
hey Ashley.
How far in are we?
We are at 1447. That's where I'm at.
Yep.
The Gamorrean guards taking a knee. Back to tank.
Book of Boba Fett gallery if you're interested in watching.
Yeah.
A lot of great
This is the cool
behind-the-scenes
about
stuff.
this show. This was my favorite part of the beginning of the show. Like, not necessarily even the Boba stuff, but the humanizing and delving more. This was like Dances with Wolves, but for Tusken Raiders.
Right, exactly.
Sonka.
Here's some of that scene that they talked
Oh.
about last week.
No,
with,
it's like this, Spencer. You got to curl a bantha, like a bantha.
Donfa.
that whole scene with the sand creature here is. Look at that. I love how he's got his basic visualization tools.
Armature, like from 10.
That was one of the things JJ talked about. I had some issue hanging off a chain or something from this scene.
Okay, now I will have to say that this is not unprecedented and unrooted in 80s pop culture already, because his little armature looks like Modulok from Masters of the Universe. saying it's Modulok.
A very centaur kind of look, but it's
I'm
definitely
surprised none of you guys got the reference when I put up the meme with Gildor from
Oh,
Master.
yeah, Wildor is the yes.
I was like, how did no one think? No one's picking up on the fact this is from Masters Universe.
No, I mean, there are a lot of issues with that movie. Gwildor was not one of them.
I enjoyed that movie.
It is highly underrated. It really is. Because if there was a human close to what the actual figure was,
Right.
it's Dolph Lundgren.
Mhm.
It's like, look at that chain. It's like, you about to tell you,
Yeah, this whole kind of backstory for the Tuscans was one of the best things, especially the first half of this season. Well, this season, there's rumors that they're going into production on season 2. So some people
that would
may
be
not like it, but I think more the better. Maybe they'll go a little farther with the character and make him more like what we saw in that episode of Mando. Yeah, all these references back to classic cinema is really cool.
It looks like the camel scenes from the Mummy, which I'm sure that they looked at Lawrence of Arabia when
Of course. Definitely. So amazing how nowadays they have that huge little like viewing area that with big monitors and high res and whatever in a tent where they can watch it, immediately, where for the longest time that was like nothing could happen like that. They'd have to ship it off somewhere and somebody'd have to edit it for a dailies to come back. And
right.
now they can just like immediately queue up what they want, look at it. Hmm. It's interesting how much stuff he references as being from his childhood, even though it's American and not, and he was in New Zealand.
Right. Well, I mean,
Yes, American stuff does permeate, and that actually is an English-speaking country, so it probably lends itself to that more.
well, and the stuff that I was showing in the office chat, I think earlier this week, that kind of the silver stuff, that coinage that's printed with Star Wars,
Mm-hmm.
I researched and looked into it a little bit more. That's New Zealand issued currency.
Oh, wow.
About the Star Wars, so they're issuing, collector currency, but it has a New Zealand denomination, and they're issuing it in that pure silver for collector purposes.
That's true.
So they're all in Star Wars.
I've heard of things like that you'd get technically from some country or whatever, but usually it's the Franklin Mint.
Yeah. No, I don't exactly know how he acquired this. The guy that showed it to me is my flea market guy or my storage locker guy. But yeah, just like, you're getting those ounce of pure 999 pure silver coins, and then Star Wars stamped, or some of those are literally in like a sheet this big, like a little mini movie poster.
Trippy.
Oh, see, there you go. Actually, it's like Sideshow sells a lot of the New Zealand mint Star Wars coin.
Nice.
Snuffy.
Oh, there it is. There's Slave One. Don't even say it.
What?
Don't even use the word. Nope.
Well, last time I was in Target, I looked at the aisle as I was walking through, and the vehicle I saw said Boba Fett's Starship. Didn't even say the other thing or what you said. It said Boba Fett's Starship. So they're kind of waffling between that and fire spray, I think.
Jake
And then-
Lloyd was a Boba Fett starship.
It will always be Slave One.
Yeah.
It,
This is a really cool practical cartoon too. Our practical
right.
costume.
Mhm.
Which is interesting because so the guy that was in the suit is John Rosengrant, who is the president of Legacy Effects.
And then wasn't that character voiced by Robert or something?
Yes, so that was so Robert had two characters he voiced. Two of them were in the same
That table scene?
Yeah, which is kind of funny.
Mhm.
I am sorry, Mark Von Olen, you are now disowned and removed from the virtual canteen.
You are the
No.
weakest link about.
It's not the fire spray. It is a fire spray class starship.
Yeah, it's like you don't call the Falcon a YT, what is it,
No.
YT 1300 or whatever it is?
Yes.
Brilliant fighter.
Nobody calls it that.
But you need your co-host.
Well, they do. Well, they call. See, in the Razor Crest was called the Razor Crest. It
Yeah.
wasn't. It didn't have a. I guess it didn't have a nickname.
But it wasn't was it a Razor Crest
Yeah,
class?
that's what I'm not sure.
I thought it was some sort of
That's
police
the
patrol
nickname.
ship that had been modified, so it probably had
Right.
another class name.
Very
Again,
possible.
you would like actual content and answers to these questions, you probably want to watch Monday on Rebels Revisited because they're commenting the right things over there in the chat. We don't know.
We're just stubborn.
These are
So
really
is
cool.
that
The
Fritz getting his
characters
face
in
put on?
this version in the sanctuary, this version of the Cantina, what they
Yeah.
can do with the technology now as opposed to what they did
Yeah,
in OT.
and also creating all this new stuff, whereas back then they did so much rehashing and reusing of things. Oh, it's something in the prop room over at the studios. Let's use it.
Well, some of this stuff, I swear, Mr. Notman not joining us tonight, but would lose his mind because I totally, Jennifer Beals.
Hmm.
But yeah, but I swear that some of these guys are just gorn from like,
Yeah, those, they definitely have that kind of look. Hmm.
Yeah, see that I love that right there. She's a mashup between Humphrey Bogart and Beyonce.
Lauren Bacall and Beyonce.
Oh, what a feeling.
Flash dance.
Mhm.
And there's Carrie Jones.
Ripping arms off like a good Wookiee should.
No time for that, Carrie
He
Jones.
does everything with his eyes. It's amazing how much he has to do with, but his eyes are so much like meaner.
I wonder how many times he's gotten that. No time for love, Carrie Jones. It's like, oh, I want to go say that now to see the look on his face. Oh, DJ Rex. Okay, is it me or does DJ Rex look like the little robot from the Nintendo Entertainment System? Do you remember?
Yeah, he's got that kind of vibes. The little
It all just like moves the little thing over. That was it.
very much so. Look at that. This concept stuff that they have is so amazing.
How does it know it's not Chewbacca? Well, tell freaking Hasbro that and not take a Chewbacca mold and like mold it.
Yeah, look at that. So different. His body frame is completely different. Considering Peter was like thin as a rail too, so it made he filled out the suit differently. So you can see Carrie's pretty muscular anyways. Just
Carrie, not a thin dude. I mean, this is a big dude.
Yeah, there you go. So he's very reminiscent of some of the Wookiees from was it episode 2 or 3? Where they had the
See,
big
there
Wookiee.
you go, right there. There's the actual content. The Razor Crest was an ST-70 Razor Crest M111 assault ship.
Aha. See, I knew
So,
it was
kind of
Crest.
Razor Crest, kind of both. It's got these names and the other.
It's Cresty. It's a trip how they have to act along with the puppeteers. Was one thing Misty had to do a lot of. I remember her talking about that. Especially since you couldn't see anything.
Yeah, that's the pile of ash.
What's that?
MVO says the Razor Crest is a pile of ash.
R.I.P.
Rubble and a ball and a spear. Boba's lucky he got his armor out of there in time. Well, it might have been, it would have been bead blasted though. Would have had to get a better paint job after it was done. One thing I don't like about his costume here, because they're out in the sunlight, is that his those shoulder things look plastic because the way the light goes through them.
Yeah.
They are actually plastic of some sort of whatever, but they don't have like a metal feel because they're letting light through. Yeah, that whole Spurs thing.
So what has Kevin done before? What is this director known for before this? Do we know?
I'm not quite sure. Hold on.
Oh, they just showed Battle Cat, the modder. He's going to be performing at an event this weekend here in LA.
Mm.
Dre Day. Don't forget about Dre. This is crazy.
No, look at there.
Well, that's what he did. He's done episodes of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Million Little Things, The Flash, Legends of Tomorrow, Mortal Kombat Legacy.
Wow. Got a
Mm.
lengthy resume.
Yeah, so he's done some stuff.
That's a lot of, yeah.
Did an episode of Iron Fist, Prison Break, Supergirl, Glee.
See, this is them going deep. It's like, well, the previous generation's fighting droids and had these mixed feelings about droids because the war, and the generation before that is, and now they're making themselves droids. They're becoming what they were. It's like, whoa.
For that mod parlor. Get modded up. Huh. Now we need to see Wednesday in the Mandalorian. Talking about
I know so many people who are getting stuff signed from Wednesday from Gwendolyn and Christie.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, and look at this big giant set. But you're right. Like the original toy for Jabba, the throne for Jabba was just that flat platform.
Right.
It actually had a grate on it, I think, because there was a thing underneath.
Well, he pulled up to where the Rancor pit is.
No, but on the platform itself on the Hasbro toy, I've been looking at this.
Where he actually sat.
One of the puppeteers for Jabba is going to be at a local con here, so I'm trying to like get as a signing peek.
Dave Barclay?
Yeah, I think he was the right arm, right? Right arm and something. I don't know. But
Yeah,
I
somebody
was
did the
looking at
tongue and an arm, and
toy,
somebody else did an arm and some like
and if
other
it
stuff.
had enough space to get him as well as some other people on there. And it's going to be tight. I don't know, but I haven't.
Look, there's the Rancor. It's so cute. I want a plush version. Oh,
Mushy.
got
All
Smooshy.
right, Mark Von Olen's now becoming L3.
Droid rights. We were just talking
Actually,
about
before you
Build-A-
came in, Krista was talking about getting the Build-A-Bear Rancor.
She was going to do a review. And we were talking about how Dave didn't like the coloring and Spencer thought it was Killer. No, I thought it was Killer Croc. What'd you say?
I thought it was King Shark.
King Shark, yes. I love this giant puppet. So amazing. Look at the guys in the back with their legs popping out.
I think that's hilarious. That's the perfect
And then the
spot. Yes, here, baby.
Yeah.
Good baby.
still think we were robbed in terms of the amount of Trejo we got. We should have got some Trejo in the final episode. Even if it was just a little bit of Trejo, would have been enough.
You know, with his spear or his thing he has right there, he should have had like a machete on it.
Okay. Yeah, there you go.
Shit day.
See, Ashley, you got it.
Yeah, but it looked more like the original. Well, the original looked more like the King Shark from the Flash TV show as opposed
That's
to
what I thought
King
it was.
Shark from the Suicide Squad.
Yeah, the Suicide Squad one is much sharkier,
Yeah.
like a literal shark with legs. It was great. Phil Tippett doing his thing.
Yeah, I love it with the little fake slobber and stuff that the little.
Oh yeah, they have to hang that goo off of them and make sure it stays where it's supposed to be. I love that reveal though that they show when the Rancor comes, pops his head up. It's like, how do you get all the way up there already? Should have like came around a corner.
Yes, Bryce, that is the movie that we disavow.
The Suicide Squad, since there are two for whatever reason.
Now I know people didn't, but I like the first one better.
They both, I like parts of both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just crazy.
I'm glad we got the Peacemaker show out of it. So it did make something decent.
I wonder if they're going to refilm the dance scene since basically everybody from season 1 is basically dead now.
Yeah, that intro is going to have to be updated for sure.
You what? You're crazy, man.
To quote Steve Zahn, you're talking gibberish.
Did that Rancor consent to having his nose pierced? That's what I want to know.
That's interesting.
Muscle.
Din Djarin, this is Fennec Shand. Nice to meet you.
See, I think that one right there in that scene with the DJ Rex, the way he's just like kind of looking at and then holstering the dark saber, that's got to be Brendan.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can get the vibe from the way his body language for sure. I can bring you in warm, or I can bring you in chilly willy. Snap doodle. There's a handrail.
No, look at there. Is that a Star Wars first? It could be.
There's only a handful of them. It's definitely not the norm.
Not here. No handrails here.
That those tools are getting hot. It'd be interesting if they like distorted from getting so hot. But they're for forging Beskar, so I'm sure they can.
And see, she's got no trouble just like holding the thing. Look at her.
It's kind of weird. Maybe they'll give us more info on who or what
Just like
and why with the wielding that saber. Best stop island in the galaxy. I cut off his arms and legs and left him for dead.
it's twice.
Your father was horrible at playing The Floor is Lava.
Oh,
Yes, he was the biggest loser at the floor is lava. This is crazy.
see, this is the other thing. They're comparing it now to like the mention of the phrase the Clone Wars that brought this whole other explanation and this whole other thing. They've mentioned the Night of 1,000 Tears, which is now going to bring this whole other explanation, I assume, in season 3.
Mm-hmm.
He was
T2 scene is so crazy.
Judgment Day. Okay, now we need a guest cameo by Linda Hamilton.
I was just thinking that. Good call.
She's got to be, a Mando that gets blown up in the Night of 1,000 Tears. She's just sitting there next to like a Mando playground or something, and then no,
Like her flashback.
surprisingly like LA.
Vision.
No fate except the way.
No fate, just this.
Maybe when they take the armor's helmet off, it'll be Linda Hamilton.
I think
Oh,
that's
I'd rather it be.
I
Emily
think that's
Swallow.
going to happen. I think she's going to be her helmet's going to come off thanks to Bo-Katan.
Yeah.
Mm.
You're like, sucker, now you're not a Mandalorian either.
See, I love the memes right there. It's like that him talking to Boba Fett. He's like, no, then you tell her you're a Mandalorian no more.
You got the dark saber. What's up with that?
Bitch, please.
Need more Pelly too. She's always fun.
Yeah, there you go. That's what I got. Look at this hunk of junk I got over here.
Yeah, and then the N1 doesn't have a nickname, so it's just a Naboo starfighter.
Mm. I wonder if he'll name it. If his version will get a name.
Yeah, call it Irene. I don't know.
I love how this whole thing that Doug Chiang talked about how he designed the original N1 starfighter and now he gets to bring it back.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Sherry, the same. Serenity Valley. Not the Serenity. Serenity.
Serenity now.
No. Right there. Curse your sudden but inevitable betrayal.
Is that Pirate Steve?
Arr.
Funny how that pirate discussion devolved to get Pirate
Well,
Steve.
I put Steve the Pirate in the chat because
Pirate Steve? Scuba Steve. Scuba Steve.
Whatever. He was.
There you go. Big. That's the use of the volume right there.
Look at that Doug flying
there you go.
the N1. That's
Ooh.
amazing. It's so cool how that like they don't have to worry about reflections.
It puts
Yeah,
them
they're making the reflections for the.
It's like don't need to leave the glass out. We can record all of it. You know, Mark's going to find that kind of other level of how it works. With his twisty legs. Makes my knees hurt every time I see him sit like that.
Yeah, these scenes are the coolest of him actually the pre deep faking or whatever.
Right, him in the space.
Assume that it wasn't is that they would deep fake
stand-in actor and then put in a deep
Mhm.
fake face. And they do some of that. Well, I know they did both for the scenes where he comes in the first time, where they had him come through and then also have the stand-in come through and then deep fake his face. Oh yeah, this whole cyclical thing is very kind of trippy too. Dave likes to connect the dots.
See, now this was the part of the Clone Wars where we really like we were there and like lost our minds. Is Anakin is given this bullshit about like teaching Ahsoka patience when it's like, hello.
The opposite of that. Derp face. You are stinky, Lord Vader. I talk with a British accent sometimes. What of it?
Boop.
Another head gonna get popped. Yeah, we don't see her get struck down, do we? We just saw that sort of ending. Oh, there's the stand-in. Yeah.
Hmm.
Plo Koon.
I'm not betting that Rosario knew who Master Plo Koon is.
Right. It was just a name she didn't recognize. But you never know. She may have gone back and watched, the Clone Wars and Rebels and other things that had Ahsoka in it.
Possible.
And Plo Koon is in Clone Wars.
Actually, that's the way it goes when you're part of the VC family. We've all been doing this together so long that we're all thinking the same thing.
Pretty much.
And Mark is just happy as a lark to be doing this. I mean, how old is he now? And he's just like,
60 something. It seems like, as long as it's quality production, a lot of actors really enjoy coming back years and decades later to revisit a character. And I'm sure in this kind of situation, you have next level of stuff to deal with, which makes it way cooler.
And again, there's the info from Ashley. Mark is 71.
Oh, damn. Okay. That makes sense. Maybe. No. It's funny how his hair is sort of that style as well. His older self definitely has a very different look with and without the or the beard and mustache. They copied me and put Mandalorian logos on the mask.
Yes, I came across mine the other day. It was like in my glove box, and I was like going in there for something. It's like, oh, the little tiny chainmail suit. That's it's so cute.
Out of the Grogu shaped bindle. Yeah, that original reveal was pretty amazing. But the graphics did leave a little bit to be desired. See, like right there, that would look pretty good, but when they try
I
to
don't
pull
know.
it back,
I think other than the little line around it, I think the
Right.
original cut looked better than the final one.
yeah, that's what I mean. When they try to pull it back and they end up sort of losing parts of it. Like, just make it look like it was full on from the movie, like back in the day. Who cares? Yeah, see, there's, I think, yeah, like all of those ones, I like the left side.
Yeah. The left one that's like almost
Now it's
exactly him from the OT.
right. So here again with that weird kind of visor looking thing on the all I have to do is, as long as I can get that out of there. But still, some of it, like, that's kind of video gamey.
Yeah.
It's a trip how they overlay it. But yeah, when they go back in and try to sort of make it not look as whatever, then they kind of that gives it more uncanny valley kind of feels to me. Yeah, see, then they got their ass handed to them. Look, we can do it this way, and it looks way better.
Yeah. It's like, okay, somebody get the checkbook, go buy that guy.
Mhm. I still feel they didn't quite take full advantage of it. It's just like trying to jump. You can't even get off the ground.
Don't try, dude. It's like,
But rebellions are built on try. Oh wait, that's not the
wait,
line.
no. Kind of close. That's hilarious. Just the like
This puppeteering is amazing. And then this with the guys with the remotes.
Grandpa.
So it had to be the full-on remote one that John pulled up on the table at Celebration, right? Or do you think there was some sort of cabling that went down behind that we didn't see?
I don't know.
Because I know there was talk about that at the time. But I feel it was that full-on remote one. And they just had the guys, wherever.
That's
where
what
they
I think.
And that way he could pull them up and just set them on the table and not have anything encumbering it.
Just says it was full remote.
Oh, look, a bunch of frogs on strings. No, I'm sorry. This was part of the Luke being a royal schmuck. This part right here. No,
Dealing
this
in
is
absolutes.
This is the whole argument behind what is wrong about Jedi dogma. It's like, have you learned nothing?
Mm-hmm. But also he's dealing in absolutes. Only Sith deal in absolutes.
Yeah, and he's denying Grogu the attachment, which is what led Anakin down the path to the dark side.
History repeats itself. If you don't learn it, it's going to repeat itself. That Boba Fett riding the Rancor is still so badass. And these guys working together is so badass. That was JJ and Brandon.
Oh yeah, shoof 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 shoof.
Crazy. It's really cool to see the practical elements too.
Yeah, to find out that how much of that was practical from the guys last week.
Mm-hmm. It's a DeLorean. Oh wait, no, it's
Could be.
It's a Mandalorian.
there.
Oh.
Oh yeah, wow.
Oof.
Some fun animatics there.
Yeah, I mean that's their animatic, and that looks pretty damn good.
They can do some amazing animatics. So yeah, it's almost as good as the finished product.
Yeah, maybe we should have like put some visual effects on those stupid scooters.
Nah. They took the wheels off.
Yeah. Could they have taken the Power Rangers logo off? I don't know.
And they got to have like Beskar paint on them, because living on a sand planet and not having sand damage somewhere on those things is pretty impressive.
Yeah, they just got a garage with a paint booth that they go through every day they go out.
Constantly redoing the paint job. They are modders after all, or whatever.
I love this version of Cad Bane. I'd have liked to seen this is what I'd have liked to seen a version with the stupid big hat.
Right.
I'd just like to see what could they have done with the ridiculous hat.
It doesn't bother me because it makes it more real worldly that he doesn't have.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't bother me. A lot of people lost their minds about like the placement of his mouth and his hat.
And also the tone of his skin tone is something people were whining about as well.
Yeah.
Like he's too light blue or something.
Like I just wish right there we saw a version of that shot with a CG hat. just to see.
It's much more like this
the director's cut.
Classic style. Yeah, with like 1,000% more machete.
Kind of backwards. I think Boba's Lee Van Cleef and like Cad Bane is Eastwood.
Bane definitely has the whole hat and look thing going, but it's not necessarily the characters. I love that. It's so like ballet like the way he does that move with his knee.
Right.
Oh yeah.
It's definitely a dance. And I like how the scratches are back. It's like, why did you even paint that thing? You should have left it tore up. And actually, that's the better version of the new paint job as well, is with that just a little bit of weathering.
Yeah.
That's what I was
Bryce.
Well,
Hey, Bryce.
Have a good one. I was gonna do some weathering on my reforged Boba Fett, but it doesn't fit my ginormous head worth a damn. Somehow they did a different design to that inner mechanism between like the Mandalorian helmet of the Black Series and the reforged.
So I took their like
Yeah, I could do some
rig
foam or
out,
something. I
and
like to keep that kind of stuff intact, but that's yeah. I definitely could outfit it to fit my head better with some modifications. But I think if I started to paint it, repaint it, then I would definitely do that so I could wear it. But right now, I'm just going to bitch about it.
mm, yeah, but on most of the Black series is I just take that rig out and they make like foam padding for like
Yeah, the helmet, actual helmets, right?
combat helmets,
Right.
and you just put that in there, and then
Well, I also have being a cosplay builder, tons of crap like this
oh yeah,
that I could just cut pieces of and put inside. Whether I wanted to attach it physically or do some sort of inner kind of piece that fit with the padding in it, I could do whatever. But anyways, I love the scenes between Grogu and the Rancor.
yeah, nappies. Oh, let's take naps.
This almost seems like sitcom
Sitcom?
wrap up at the end, kind of. Yeah,
It,
throw the big guy a fruit, weird kind of almost like a Mentos commercial too.
well, it's the shawarma scene. It's
Oh
after
yeah,
the seriousness of the Avengers. They're going to get shawarma,
right.
or it's Friends, where it's the after the ding ding ding
Yeah,
ding ding
they
ding,
can
ding,
laugh together.
and then they come back and have a little thing.
The stinger. But yeah, these are some impressive sets. It was that city scene. Do you think that was in a soundstage? That one, it was dark in that one. But it was like earlier they were shown. It seemed like they were outside. Maybe they have versions of it that are in a soundstage,
There might be both. There might be a
kind of
location
outside.
pieces and
Yeah,
parts on a, because you've seen some big like blue screens in the background of some of this.
right. Yeah, that was some of the earlier shots. The actual on scene on set stuff they were showing the blue screen. You could see that I think in the dark scenes too. There we go. There's your shot with him jamming out with Grogu. Grogu had his own guitar. I didn't realize that. I think there's other stuff where he doesn't have his own guitar, but that was a lot of fun. Look at that 10. That's crazy.
All right, here's the question for the chat. Ashley's like, where's the 90s sitcom music? Okay, if the Book of Boba Fett was a 90s sitcom or an 80s sitcom, even it's a sitcom, which one would it be? Which theme music would it be? I'm gonna go with
That crew.
just for the transition and the escape to Sarlacc and the Tuskens. I'm going with Growing Pains.
I'm going to slap bass from Seinfeld.
Hmm. I don't know. Let's see.
Oh, Full House. Good choice.
Ah, yes.
It's well, I can't think of it. Never mind.
What's that?
There was a lot of good ones.
So that was definitely a great show.
Yeah, that I love the gallery and how much that it really shows you about what's going on.
Indeed, indeed. So yes, there we are, ladies and gentlemen. We are ready for Mandalorian season 3 next week.
So we think we're only going to get one gallery for that, like we have been for most of these seasons. I really, really, really liked the first season where we got a gallery for every episode. That was awesome.
That was incredible
Yeah.
because we watched both in a night.
Yeah, and then I guess they covered enough that they don't need to rehash that kind of stuff. But I still would, if they could do a full episode or an episode for every episode, that would be amazing. Anyways,
Yeah, I mean they call it season 1, episode 1. It's like, but
We'll see. But very, very excited about what's going on. They say it's a 35-minute episode on Monday of Wednesday of Mando. So
how many minutes? I didn't hear you. You broke up.
35 minutes. Oh, good. So yes, this Saturday at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern, we will have the Intergalactic News Desk with Mark and Gary talking about what you should bring to Celebration, followed by the Unifying Force on Sunday, and of course, Rebels Revisited on Monday. So there's a lot of stuff to look forward to, but we got more Star Wars content, live action next week, which is pretty damn awesome.
I don't think we officially know who's directing this one, Ashley. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Bob's your uncle.
Yes, right. But we'll see. See what happens. But Jeff, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to whatever we get, and it's gonna be, I mean, from what I've seen, it's gonna be so much fun. I'm just ready.
Absolutely. Dave.
I am excited to know how they're going to start it out. Are they going to start it out bang, zoom, just right into the action stuff? Are they going to give us a bunch of exposition? Are they going to, kind of ease us in and slow burn us into what's going to go on for the rest of the season? I really, that's what I want to know. Not so much exactly what's happening, but what's the pace they're going to start this one at.
Yeah.
Right.
I think they can drop right in based on them having the Book of Boba Fett episodes that sort of set the groundwork for obviously what we've seen in some of the trailers where they're just sort of back together, which kind of seems, I don't know, not lazy, but like lacking in terms of the actual show, putting us in another show.
Right.
I don't know.
Well, and I'm wondering too if the scenes with Grief Karga that we've seen that have been leaked scenes lately, are they going to be here in the first episode? Are they going to be something that's down the line a little bit? As I kind of think they're probably first episode, but don't know. Or do they not exist in the show at all, like some of the trailers we've gotten?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's go back and look and see what we get that actually.
Well, can we see me now for that?
Actually, I think they passed it that we can. That's I think that's.
So we're very excited. We're getting more Star Wars content, and it goes right through Celebration, which is pretty awesome in itself, right there. So exciting. So please make sure that you keep an eye out on all of our social media platforms, and as well as on the VCN for information about what's going on with us for Celebration and beyond. So from Dave and Jeff, this is Spencer saying, this is the way.
This is the way.
Did you really go?
Big thing.